Line judge. Dave Perry is the back judge, and Jimmy Cole is the field judge. Starting off, Miami is 5-7-0, and the Buffalo Bills are still looking for their first win under Jim Ringo, their new coach. He is 0-7, and the team is 2-10-0. And according to John Brody, who had a long conversation with many of the Bills want this game and want it badly, even though a lot of people might say they're simply playing out the string.
Jim, I had a chance to talk with Joe Ferguson and Jimmy Braxton, and they really want it most of all, and this sounds corny for Jim Ringo, and not because he's a nice guy, which he is, but primarily because they feel he relates to them very well. He's a guy that has put together very, very slowly and methodically a group of guys into a form that they feel is going to win in the future for them, and obviously it hasn't paid off yet. They're 0-7, but when you have a group that's lost 7 straight games with a coach and they're still pumped up about getting after it, I think it's a very healthy sign.
There is Garo Yepremian, who had a kick blocked 2 weeks ago in the game with Baltimore that cost them at least a tie. Jim Langer, the center, took the blame for that, but last week Garo also missed an extra point and missed several field goals. He's not been having a good year, at least lately, nor have the Miami Dolphins, who found new ways in which to lose football games. John Holland and Roland Hooks are deep. Holland's on the far side, number 80, and Hooks is on the near side. And Yepremian is going to kick off. This will be Hooks at the 4. To the 10. 20, opening, 30. Yepremian lets him go by. Curtis Johnson slowed him up, and they knock him down inside. O.J. Simpson is the lone setback at the moment. They have 3 wide receivers. O.J., he's going to get more yardage inside the 15-yard line. He had that.
Reuben Gant and Paul Seymour were both on the same side. What they've done is just substituted Reuben Gant in place of a fullback, primarily for blocking purposes. They haven't had the kind of blocking out of their fullback position that they have when Braxton's in there, and that's one way to get it. They have pretty good horseback there with the ball.
Holland and Chandler go wide to the left. Foley, McKenzie, Montler, Delamalure, and Devlin, their offensive line. Devlin starting over Donnie Green, and they're giving it to O.J. again, and standing right there is Jarrett White, number 41, the left cornerback. McKenzie, Montler, Delamalure, and Joe Devlin has moved in ahead of Donnie Green in that electric company that operates for the Juice. Jeff Kinney, number 36, is now coming to the backfield to join O.J. Simpson. Don Holland has gone out. Chandler wide left. Gant splits about 10 yards left. 3rd down, 4 to go. Orange back for his first throw. Now running, and he's not going to go very far. Down to about the 11-yard line. Comes in to attempt the field goal. There is your Miami defensive front. That's been the same for the last several years. Their problem has not been their front 4. It's been their linebackers who have gone down to injury. Chandler will hold. Yakovenko will attempt this 28-yard field goal. He is 2 for 2 from inside the 30. This is from 28 yards out, and he puts it up. And Buffalo is first on the board. 12:41 to go, and it's 3-0 the Bills.
That drive, when it got stymied, is the kind of thing that seems to have been happening to Buffalo quite a bit this year. They get into a 2nd and 4 situation. They run the same play. They get stopped. They go back to throw the ball. Morangi has to try and get out of there. We'll get into some of the problems they're having coordinately a little later in the game, Jimmy.
In the meantime, Yakovenko, who just kicked that 28-yard field goal, will now kick off to the Miami Dolphins, and we will see the Dolphins under Don Strock for the first time. Bob Greasy is usually the man at the helm, and if he's not there, it is Earl Morrill, but today it is going to be Strock. Number 27 is Gary Davis, and number 26 is Duriel Harris. They are the kick returners, and there's George Yakovenko. A sunshiny morning here at Miami, a cloudy afternoon, but the temperature at 76. No bad way to spend the 13th weekend of the National Football League season.
Beats that 4 feet of snow.
Yakovenko gets good foot in it. That is Duriel Harris at the goal line. He's got speed, and he's got some running room. Look out. Yakovenko's the man if he can do it. He goes down on a saving tackle by John Scorpion, number 55. 2 great kick returns, and now the Dolphins are in the territory of the Bills at the 37.
And this looks like a a replay of the first kickoff. You see Harris come up. He gets into the wedge. Everybody's knocked down. He doesn't have to hesitate to look for a hole. He's got one the size of a yard. He gets out. Didn't have much problem getting past Jackowinko and actually stumbled on his own.
All right, Greasy. We'll give you the men in the backfield with him in just a moment. Greasy is out of there, and Strock is the man who is starting and is handing off to Benny Malone, number 32, and Malone is hit down at the exclusive 35-yard line. Malone, 32, and Don Nottingham, 36, are your starting running backs. Guriel Harris, 26, and Freddie Solomon, 86, your wide receivers. They have had an outstanding couple of games, their last two games. Andre Tillman, 87, is your tight end. Moore and Carlin the tackles. Newman and Little the guards, and Langer is at center. Second down and about 9.
Hey, back here and on one knee like everybody else. Hey.
Strock going on second down, puts it deep toward the end zone. Battle in the end zone, it is not caught. And Freddie Solomon, according to Mario Clark, interfered with him offensively, but no flag.
Well, if we get to see the whole play, right about here, you may see he has just finished his little pushing act, and that's what Mario Clark was concerned about. That goes unnoticed several times, and for the opportunity to possibly make a touchdown, it's worthwhile. Just pretty darn well played. Tony Green's trying to pick up anything that's moving around out there.
Third down and long. Ben Williams, Mike Kadish, Marty Smith, and Sherman White, the front four for the Bills. Scorpion, Coker, and Gillick are the linebackers. Seifel has come in on third down and 9. Strock throws over the middle, and it is juggled in and out of the hand.
Around a bit.
Would you believe a 53-yard field goal attempt by Eupremian to tie the score?
Yeah, I would.
All right. Ball is up from 53 yards away, and it is good.
I tell you,
you believe in the right thing.
Well, the guy has a foot that can kick the ball.
11:34 to go. First quarter, it's all tied at 3. Puts through a 53-yard field goal and now kicks off rather short. Roland Hooks will come out around the 12-yard line, juggles it for the moment. And this time he gets nothing like the run back. Gary Davis, number 27, a reserve running back, whom we may see a lot of today. Knocked him down at the 25-yard line. Our telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Miami Dolphins and the National Football League is prohibited. Kinney and O.J. are in the backfield. They started out with one setback. That was O.J. Didn't work out too well. They had to settle for the field goal. They're getting that ball to O.J. a lot today, trying to get outside, and he's going to get outside. And look out, it's a foot race, and he's a sprinter from Southern California, and you think anybody's going to catch him, you're wrong. O.J. Simpson, 75 yards.
I tell you, you mentioned it was a foot race. It wasn't much of a foot race. He took off and left him as soon as he turned the corner, cut in beside a fine block. Let's take a look. This is a quarterback's dream. O.J. jumps inside, jumps outside when it's clogged up. Both the cornerback and the linebacker make a rather feeble attempt to get him. He gets outside, and now it's all over, folks. Let's watch Joe DeLamalure. He makes a fine block on Kenny Ellis. And boy, when you can get your guard all the way downfield on a cornerback, you have set the play up properly. That's exactly what happened.
Jakovenko is in. We've hardly had time to set offenses or defenses. And we've still got 11-11 to go here in the first quarter, and the Bills are out in front of the Dolphins by the score of 10-3.
Here's 100.
Already has 81. He started the day 29 yards behind Walter Payton. Keep this kick on the ground, taken by one of the up men. Looks to be Nottingham, and he comes across the 40-yard line to about the 42-yard line.
Jim, I'll tell you, it's kind of funny when they get out.
Here's Strock back to throw, looking downfield, and Freddie Solomon cannot handle it at the 37-yard line. We will that kind of bulge over O.J. Simpson, which isn't much. O.J. has 81 yards thus far, and out on the West Coast, Walter Payton has some 10. Strock Throwing on nearly every play and loops this out and over the head. That may be intercepted, but not. Intended for Andre Tillman, number 87. And Tony Green couldn't quite react in time to pull down the interception.
On each of the last two passes, Jim, Strzok has pulled the string a little as he was ready to throw a little before his receivers came open. Had to take a little off the ball each time, and both times it got over the top of the receiver.
Here we are, how Buffalo rates on defense and Miami on offense. Buffalo, it looks like it can run against them, right? Croker is up, and Cliff Brooks comes in. The so-called nickel defense, expecting a pass again from Strzok on 3rd down 10. Strzok rolling out this way. Under pursuit, gets it away, and Seipel is not turned around in time. Morangi had a terrible day, as we said last week, 4 for 21, and he started out today. There was a ball that was destined for Kenny Ellis all the way.
As we take a look, here goes Morangi. He's backing out of there, and his drop, as you will see throughout the day, if he throws quite a bit, will be a bit inconsistent. I personally think his confidence factor's down a bit as he drops the ball as he's going to throw it. Now, most good throwers don't let that ball go down there and come up because it's the most inconsistent delivery in the world, and he just made an errant throw on the play, and Ellis took advantage of it.
Now let's see if from the 15, Strzok can take him in. Nottingham takes the ball down to the 11-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 6. Here as head coach of the Baltimore Colts when he was 8 and 6. With 2 games to go now with this Miami ball club, he is 5 and 7. Looked like the blitz was on, and
proper angle, and the play never got started.
Well, look at this. New England 27, New Orleans 6. For the first time since 1963, the Patriots are guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Washington stays alive in the NFC by whipping the New York Jets this afternoon 37-16, leading at one time 31-3. 3rd down and 11. Strzok looking and looking out. 1st down at the 15, a 2nd down at the 11. They've got a 4th down at the 28.
They had quite a few yards to go to pick up the 1st down, Jim, and yes, Don Strzok did get sacked, but he was waiting for Larry Seipel the whole way, and he never did get open because he was well covered, so that sack really belongs to the defensive backs.
Earl Morrow will kneel at the 35-yard line, so with the 53-yarder already to his credit, Yepremian will try one from 45 away.
This one's just a little chip shot for him.
From 45 yards away. It hits the goalpost and bounds back out. And the Bills will take over. Boy, a lot has happened, and we still have 6:47 to go in the 1st quarter. Buffalo 10, Miami 3. There's Gary Yepremian shaking his head after missing, hitting the crossbars. And the ball, of course, comes back out to the 27-yard line. 1st down 10 from Morangi and the Buffalo Bills. Jeff Kinney looking for some help, and he needs some help as he tries Simpson. He's got a little hole, and that's all he needs, and he's got the 1st down out to the 40-yard line. Appearances was 1-1 several yards. On occasion, Don Shula on 1st down has had a defensive backfield of White, Babb, Anderson, who's an excellent tackle, former strong side safety, and Curtis Johnson. And then on passing downs, he's taken out Anderson and put in Ellis. This time, however, he's going with White, Babb, Ellis, and Johnson all the way. Out to punt, and he'll aim for the sidelines, I would imagine. Beautiful kick, but I believe it's going to carry in and out of the end zone. Will come out as a touchback out to the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10. Minnesota having a Green Bay. It's 13-9 with 7.5 minutes to go in that ball game. And the Broncos, whom we saw last week get annihilated by the Patriots, are leading the Chiefs 7-3 with about 3 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. 2nd down and 5 from the 25. The throw is out here for Solomon, who's at the 30-yard line, and he is out of bounds at the 32-yard line, which is a 1st down. In front of him, and now he is knocked down after a gain of about a yard. And right there, Ben Williams, Strzok Solomon's got his second catch, and down he goes. Keith Moody got him first, along with Doug Jones. But that's the first down out to the 47-yard line. And Solomon is saying something to the referee that might have happened to him while on the way down or after he got down.
I think it was while he was going, and I think he had something to say to the gentlemen in the white shirts that are playing against him.
Solomon wide to the right. Duriel Harris is at the same side. On first down, there goes number 31, Norm Bulash, for about a yard or two. We expect to see, we've already seen Malone in Nottingham. We expect to see Bulash, Gary Davis, whom we've seen, and a lot of Stan Winfrey, as Don Shula is going to take a look at all his men today. 13 seconds to go. The Bills are trying to win the first ball game ever for their new coach, Jim Ringo. And Shula, of course, would like to bring his mark up to 6-7 with Minnesota coming in next Saturday for the final game. May not get this off. I don't think they are. That's the end of the first quarter. The Buffalo Bills lead it. They traded field goals before O.J. Simpson broke away for 75 yards and the go-ahead touchdown. Bulash steps into the eye. And that's not a nifty handoff there at all, is it?
Well, that backfired. What I thought he was doing, Jim, was stepping up so that he could get a blitzing linebacker. However, I noticed at the snap of the ball, nobody came. Then they handed him the ball. It must have attracted the whole defensive line when he moved over there.
Oh, it's a loss, and it is 3rd down and 12. As we are early now into the second quarter here in the Orange Bowl, which on the night of January 1st will have Colorado and Ohio State and Simpson and Brody, and we'll take the same kind of weather that night right now. The sun has begun to come out. The temperature's in the 70s. Third and 12. Strock under pressure from White, and the ball does go forward, and a flag goes downfield, thrown way downfield at about the 40-yard line.
You kind of had the feeling there was going to be a flag thrown pretty soon because it's getting pretty active down there.
Holding is charged downfield against the Buffalo Bills after Strock was almost sacked and just barely got the ball away. I think they'll say Mario Clark, number 29, but we'll wait for Fred Silva. That's his job.
Defensive holding, 55.
Whoops.
First down.
Scorpion. That's an automatic first down. Instead of 4th down and 12 and kicking it away, it's first down at midfield. Solomon goes left. The backfield is Nottingham, 36, and Gary Davis, 27. Davis is a rookie out of California Poly. Strock throwing on first down. Has time, and there's Solomon, 3rd catch of the day, and he can run with the football. He's inside the 25-yard line. Freddie Solomon with Keith Moody making the stop, along with Tony Green.
Early in the ball game, Jim, Don Strock threw the ball a little early a few times, had to pull the string. The last 3 or 4 balls he's thrown has been right on the money, in between the linebackers, over the top of their head, underneath the safety man. You can see that's a perfectly thrown ball. As Solomon came out of his break, the ball was there, and all he had to do was get his hands on it.
The only other start that Strock made against Buffalo is 12 for 15 with 2 touchdowns to the now injured Howard Twilley. But he'd only thrown 51 times in his career before today. Second man through is Davis. No opening there, so he's coming this way. There's the youngster out of California Poly, and looked pretty good, didn't he? Mario Clark put him down.
Boy, the impressive thing, Jimmy, was the way he got outside after he was stopped.
And the impressive thing is also there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, I don't think he's too impressed. Let's take a look at it anyway, because very rarely do you see a guy that when he makes his spurt, the pursuit is generally too strong for you to handle. Scorpion fell down trying to get him. He got outside, and Mario Clark was the only man remaining.
Ike Hill now checks in. Solomon goes out. We see Bulash coming
71, offense, clipping.
Darrell Carlton called for clipping on the...
Was put right on the money, but that pass was made possible by Duriel Harris. He comes down the field. He's going to the post all the way. Cuts underneath Mario Clark. Strock is trying to throw the ball in the middle of the field. It came out of his hand a little bit, slipped to the right. He comes back. Now, this is the hardest catch in football. He's got his eye on it, but he has to watch. He's got his eye on the ball all the way to the right side. That's just a magnificent catch.
Yepremian will be in now to try the extra point, which, if you follow the Dolphins, know that in the last 2 games have not been that automatic. On to tie the game with 13:08 to go in the first half. And he's got it, and he gets a cheer from the crowd because they know well how difficult it has been. 13:08 to go in the first half, and now sunny Miami, and it's 10 apiece. Given up in the second quarter of this season, and that's more than double what they've given in any other 2 quarters that they played. Squib kick along the way. Look out, that's a free football. It's finally picked up by Bo Cornell, who used to be a running back at the University of Washington, and he's a linebacker now, but he ran as always a running back. Got the ball out to the 41-yard line where Ted Bachman made the stop, and it'll be 1st and 10 from there. We'll be watching to see what happens tomorrow night between Cincinnati and Oakland. Oakland has already clinched. Cincinnati has not, but they can tomorrow night. First down, and there goes Gary Davis again, and this time we see no penalty flag, and he's got a good run. He could really hit the hole in a hurry.
Jim, from this angle, you just see a big pile, and then you see him spurt out of there. Now, he hits the hole, which all good backs have to do. You have to take your shot. When you see an opening, you take it. It may close, but so what? He takes it, gets into the secondary before anybody's even alerted, and Freeman makes a good tackle to keep it from even a longer gain.
From the 43-yard line, and recently, since the Bills' explosion by O.J. of 75 yards, it has been all Miami. They're controlling the game. Strock likes to throw on first down past Durio Harris. Mario Clark was the defender. Croker was also dropping off. Each quarterback, and it could be nervousness, and I'll ask the old quarterback, seems to be throwing a little bit before too many people make their breaks or get set.
But yeah, sometimes that's so. On that occasion, however, Mario Clark was playing the ball very well. Had he put the ball down and thrown it just a little ahead of Harris, it may have been picked off. And I think that, you know, you have a reflex action. I think that caused him to throw it over his head.
Solomon left, Harris to the right. They got the blitz on. Scorpion is there, and he gets away. Now throws the ball for Solomon, intercepted by number 46, Keith Moody, who has his 3rd interception of the year. And that stops the drive. Areas near the vertebra. I'm not a doctor. I don't know exactly where, but nevertheless, rest, not surgery, cured him. He'll be able to play next year. Bateman back to kick. Gets the ball. Man, has he got a kick away. Solomon just watches that thing fly in toward the end zone. And remember, the line of scrimmage was the 44-yard line, so he will get 56 yards officially, but it was a little bit more than that. He really put a foot into it. And if Cincinnati gets it tomorrow night, Pittsburgh will be out to nail down the AFC Central Division. If Cincinnati should win tomorrow night, there's still the possibility that the Bengals could lose their final game of the season. Here comes Davis. We've liked what we've seen of him so far, and he gets about 3 yards out to the 23-yard line where Mike Kadish, number 71, made the stop.
Jimmy, you mentioned we like what we've seen. I don't, you know, what we like is immaterial. I think Don Shula likes what he's seen in Davis, and that is going to be a very determining factor.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. Solomon comes to the right, Harris to the left. Strock, play action pass, looking to set up the screen, throws it to Nottingham, who's dragged down from behind. Reading it all the way was number 77, Ben Williams.
He sure did, and he caused Nottingham to change the direction of the screen. And once the screen's broken up, you have no interference. You have nothing really, except you're going to take a good lick when you catch the ball, and that's what developed.
Larry Seipel, number 20, Laurent McCreary, the rookie from Tennessee State, number 80, both check into the offense now for Miami on 3rd down and 9 to go. Don Strock getting a full look today. Big flurry here in Miami when Jim Delgado was cut after an outstanding preseason and Strock was kept. Now he's getting his big chance of the season. Strock, they're coming, and they've got him. The blitz was on. Steve Freeman, the strong side safety, had him all the way and dropped him inside the 15-yard line. At the 11, there is a flag down at the 20-yard line. Offside is charged. Buffalo. So they'll have third down at about 4 yards to go.
It still was a nice play by Freeman. He's been playing cat and mouse back there for quite a while with Strock, faking to come. Tony Green has faked the blitz several times, and that's the first time they did come.
77 defense, offside.
That was Ben Williams offside for the second time today. Third down and 4 to go. 6 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 10-10 ball game. Ball is at the 26-yard line of Miami. Almost went that time. Fires. Larry Seifel trying to hold on to the football and does. First down at the 49-yard line. Seifel coming out of the backfield. He's been a tight end. Used as wide receiver. That time was a setback. Came out, juggled it. First down at the 49.
And if you think that isn't a hairy feeling when you're juggling that ball in the middle of the field, when you know you better bring it down pretty quick because it's going to be curtains. Here Strock hits Seifel right on the button. Throws the ball. He makes a good move on the linebacker, Scorpion. Looks like he's got it now. To keep your attention on the ball is a very difficult thing to do. That's why he's been a good third down receiver for him for a couple years.
Strock going on first down. He's done that a lot, and that's Solomon on this side for 7 or 8 yards, down to about the 42-yard line. Another flag is down.
And it's going to be on Freddie Solomon. He jumped the gun a little. You know, you like when you get your number called, sometimes you get a bit antsy, and Freddie ran before the snap count.
Buffalo fans back in that snowstorms, those drifts of northern New York now are thinking they had a sack back to the 10-yard line, but offside cost them. But this will take it back to Miami territory, and here again is Fred Silva.
86, illegal motion, offense.
You right, friend.
Well, they're pretty easy to see. You got one guy standing out there by himself, though. He leaves early. You can pick that up. There's Bob Greasy. I wonder how it feels to get a day off.
First and 15 from the 46. Strock still throwing on first down. Under pressure again. That's Davis, and down he goes after picking up 6 yards to the 48-yard line. Hit by Mario Clark and John Scorpion. That'll be second down and 9. In that Denver-Kansas City game, the Broncos, Craig Penrose, who was to start today, not Steve Ramsey, has passed 28 yards to Riley Odoms, and it's 14-10 Denver. And you can see Seattle has moved in front of Chicago. Jim Zorn again to John McMakin, a 14-yard touchdown pass. Second down 9. Strock time this time to throw, and does, and has his man for the first down inside the 40-yard line, and Ray Tillman makes the catch at the 38.
Strock has thrown those control-type passes very well today. He's been on the money after the first series of plays. His timing has been excellent. The receivers have helped him with fine catches. That time, Andre Tillman made most of that play on his own.
Well, here is Miami in a drive again, as they were moments ago before Moody intercepted. Strock has been able to move with the football, while the Buffalo Bills have not been able to move with the football since that 75-yard burst by O.J. Simpson in the first quarter. There's that Davis again, and down at the bottom of the pile making an outstanding play. I believe that's number 71, Mike Kadish. And right there with him was John Scorpion. Second down and 9 to go. The ball is at the 37-yard line. Clock is running, 3:45 to go. There's been a lot of wind. The wind had something to do with that Strock to Duriel touchdown pass. And the wind looks to be going from your left to right, behind Strock. Strock got the time, throwing for Freddie Solomon, who just cannot catch up to it. It was that close.
They had a blitz going. They put him on Moody. They had Solomon on Moody all alone. Strock picked out the proper receiver to throw to. Put the ball in the air pretty well, just a foot too far. Solomon almost caught up to it.
Third down and 9. And Solomon gets a hand as he walks off the field, and now he's heading back toward Thought he was going to take off and take a rest for a moment, but now they signaled him, and now you'll see him run into your picture. To hear what's next on 3rd and 9. 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go in the half. Solomon goes out wide to the left. Uriel Harris comes to the right. Seiffel's in that backfield again. He's the one that caught the pass last time on 3rd down. This time he's in the block as they're throwing to Harris, who dropped the football. Harris had the ball on the 1st down at the 24, but was hit by Clark and dropped the football.
That's possibly the toughest catch in football. Any receiver that can catch the ball coming inside like that pattern was thrown is going to make it in this league for quite a while. And he got into good position, looked like he had the ball, just got a good hit and dropped it. Okay, here we go. Here's Jim Mandich standing in there. Now he's slow blocking, so he's got 2 fellas to handle. They're blitzing. He's trying to pick up whatever he can. He's actually, his man is Gillick. He's helping out the offensive tackle. That's a good job.
Seifel back to do the punting. High pass. Is on, but we'll wait and see. Bateman line drives this one. Solomon has to back up inside the 25 to the 21. He's a good one.
And he is gone.
And I'll see you later, folks. Had one called back last week of 77 yards. And that's 78, and it's not called back.
That's just the way you draw it up on the drawing board, Jim. As he got the ball was kicked very low and long. That's an optimum scene for a punt returner. He gets the ball, he gets started. He has a chance to see if there are any holes up there. And you see Dick Anderson in the front part of your screen coming on to help with John Scorpion. He comes through the hole, and right now it's all over. There is no one left.
Last block was on Bateman, and there goes Freddie Solomon. Well, when you take a look at the disasters that have befallen the Miami Dolphins, and then the pluses such as Uriel Harris and Freddie Solomon.
Gary Davis.
They'll be around. Yepremian in to add the extra point. This is the first time that the Dolphins have led the Bills as Yepremian adds the extra point. With 1:48 to go, it is now Miami 17 and Buffalo 10. And that's the 2-minute warning, so we'll come back after this.
Fury, the Fury. Way out here, they got a car that moves like wind around you. Wind is free as free can be, and they call this car the Fury.
The new Plymouth Fury, featuring Chrysler's optional lean burn engine, controlled by one tiny computer to fire with precision for smooth performance. The only system of its kind in the world. Fury, with all the room and freedom of the wide open spaces. Just waiting to be turned loose, to run like the wind.
The Fury, the Fury. Come ride the wind, the Fury.
The Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Houston Oilers next Saturday, beginning at 3:30 Eastern Time. Then on Sunday, see live regional coverage of NFL football action on NBC.
The kicking game today has shown us some excitement on runbacks of kickoffs, 2 of them that set up the first 2 field goals, and now the go-ahead is on the 79-yard punt return by Freddie Solomon, and that's the 3rd time this year that Buffalo's special teams has had a punt returned against it for a touchdown.
And the man most responsible, Jim, once he did get into a position to break, it was Clayton Heath who just put the finishing touches on Bateman. That's about as complete a block as you'll see.
They gave you that final before Minnesota over Green Bay as Yepremian tees it up. Hooks and Holland are the deep men. Hooks 25, Holland 80. We've got 1 minute 48 seconds left in the half. This is picked up by one of the up men, a linebacker. Looks like Tom Rudd, number 54, who played at Nebraska. He gets it across the 35 to the 37-yard line, where it'll be first. 49-yard field goal attempt. He's got lots of foot. And he's got it right from 49 yards out. We are seeing quite a field goal and kicking exhibition today. With 14 seconds to go, the score is now 17-13.
Shortly after that, Pastorini got an ankle injury. We hear it's a sprained ankle. So John Hadle came back in the game. And his pass is tipped by Bob Babich of Cleveland and then caught by Charlie Hall of Cleveland on the 44-yard line for an interception. And the final score again, 13-10 Cleveland.
Freddie Sullivan took that ball right away from, looked like Dwight Harrison to me. We'll get a chance to look at it again. The ball was thrown a little under Sullivan. However, he had the best angle on it, but getting the ball was another thing. You can see Harrison's back there doing his best to knock it down. Then he keeps his balance and runs it in.
Solomon hooks up with his buddy Harris, who had a 37-yarder. Also an outstanding catch back in the first half. These are the young men that are exciting the Miami Dolphin followers, even though they are 5 and 7 at the moment. You premium in to add the extra point. And the extra point is good. 13:42 to go in the third quarter. And the Dolphins now move out by 11 points. They lead 24-13. Brock comes out. Brock has had 2 touchdown passes this afternoon. And the third touchdown was the 79-yard punt return by Solomon, who's been outstanding. So make that 4 outstanding plays we've seen today for touchdowns. Cliff Brooks has come in to play the right cornerback after Harrison got beat on that last play by Solomon. Coming outside is Malone into a group of people headed by Merv Croker, number 52, the middle linebacker. And a flag goes down at the 31-yard line. Eddie Malone has had some injury problems this week, but he did start the ball game. Dolphins are walking way back. Don Shula got one of his rare penalties called against him a couple of weeks back. Last moments of the game, they called holding against his team, and he said, "Why now?"
50.
Well, he gave us 56, but there's no 56 in the offensive lineup of the Miami Dolphins. It could have been 36 or 66. First down and 24 to go. Ball is on the 15-yard line. Boulash turns it upfield, and look out, he can run. And they're yelling boo for Boulash as he's out to the 49, the 48-yard line of Buffalo.
He broke so clean, Jimmy, that Tony Green was still covering the tight end as Boulash was running by him and had to really put it on to catch him. When a play breaks that clean, it gives the back every opportunity. You know, he's got people's heads turned. They're not even looking at him. Now you see Tony recollecting himself and making the play.
38-yard run to the 49-yard line. 24-13 Miami. 8:54 to go in the third quarter. Brock back, throwing far side. Solomon gets away from one man. An ankle tackle brings him down by Doug Jones. And good news for Miami fans everywhere. Duriel Harris is back in the ball game. He left with about a minute and a half to go, limping toward the end of the first half. But now they have the combination of Harris and Solomon. Each has caught a touchdown pass today. Solomon this time to the left, and Harris goes to the right. First down at the 37. Solomon has caught 5 passes for 117 yards. Second man through, coming back the other way is Malone, trying to get outside, and there's some good speed by Dan Gillick, the weak side linebacker, rookie out of Michigan. Cliff Brooks helped out.
Boy, that Benny Malone runs so flat out. Every time he gets the ball, he is about as reckless a running back as I've ever seen, Jim.
There's some more speed checks in now. Gary Davis, number 27, has checked in. It'll be second down and 5 to go. Miami, after a sputtering start, has dominated offensive play with the exception of one drive by Buffalo here in the third quarter. There's was at Gary Davis and dragged down from behind. Outstanding play. Looked like Bob Nelson was in there. Davis, John Scorpion, 55. Getting up, not 56, along with Ben Williams. Williams has played a good game today. However, he's been guilty twice of going offside on third down and short yardage situations. He is another of their rookies. He is out of Mississippi. Ball is at the 31-yard line. Steve Freeman has come in as a strong side safety. Doug Jones goes out. On third down and a short 5. Only one setback. They've got 3 wide receivers in there. Strock dropping straight back, looping it for Duriel Harris. Look out! Goes out of bounds just before he gets the touchdown. At the 1.5-yard line. Strock just put it up for grabs, and Harris grabbed it.
But he did make a great play. Here you can see he's got Cliff Brooks on him. However, Brooks stumbles as he goes on a streak pattern. He's all alone with him because they did blitz 8 men. Strock laid the ball up there, but Harris has made another outstanding catch.
I don't know if Moody is injured or not, but they've used Moody, then Harrison, and now Brooks at that right corner spot, and every one of them has been burned.
They're injured internally, I'll tell you that, because both Harris and Freddie Sullivan have made great plays over all their corners.
First down and goal to go. They place the ball out just inside the 2. That's Davis.
Well, look at here.
And Strock keeping it. Tom Strock faked to Davis, and everybody went for it, except Strock.
And that's the way to run a bootleg. I doubt if he even told his own teammates, because you can see he had no lead blocker. If you're going to try and fool him, leave yourself bare. And he did. You can see his smile. This was his concoction, in my opinion. He has no lead block in front of him. You see Gillick come in. He's looking. If there's nobody on him, he doesn't intend to be in a position to have to make the play. Strock just kind of creeps out there and could have walked it in. He runs by Gillick, and he didn't even know he had the ball. That's fun.
Here's your premium. Moral to hold. And Miami's out in front by a score of 31-13, trying to win their 6th game of the year.
Mr. Highboom.
Huh?
They were joking with him, but he may be the new head coach.
He's mixed up on this drive. His plays as well as he has all game long, and I think that has a lot to do with his effectiveness. As you can see, he comes back, he sees he's got him, and he puts it right there.
Fine pass throw, and Jakovenko comes in to add the extra point. We still have 1 minute and 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Buffalo's offense has looked a lot better. Jakovenko adds the extra point, and the Bills are within striking distance with more than a quarter left to play. It's 31-20, Miami. And Matheson was right there this time for his 2nd interception of the year.
It was. It was thrown just a little bit late, but Matheson made a fine play. Chandler had already run his route. He looked to the left. Now, sometimes when you come on back to the right after you've looked left, it makes it a little tough, particularly if you throw on a sideline. When he did, he had no way to pick up Matheson, only Chandler, and it was intercepted.
11:56 to go. It's 31-20. Miami here in the 4th quarter. .69 left in. Mike Katie 71, Marty Smith 79, and at right end, Cody Smith, number 85, making his first appearance of the day. Gary Davis hands it to Solomon, who can run, and he's got room and blockers over there across midfield. Solomon, the star today, runs into his own man, runs out of that, and will score. His 3rd touchdown of the day. 1 by punt return, 1 by a run, and 1 on a pass. A 59-yard scamper.
He had everybody in the house full, Jim. It looked like a simple little reverse play. He came from his wide receiver position, got it on the dead run, had everybody going the opposite way. Then he had 4 or 5 men out in front of him, as we'll be able to take a look. Here goes Strock. Simple little Gary Davis sweep. Whoops. Hands it to Solomon. Strock's out in front of him. He's going to do a little bit of blocking. He gets 3 or 4 of his own men out in front of him. Actually runs into Newman. Has enough balance to find an opening to the outside and takes it in. He's having a day.
What a day. 79-yard punt return, 53-yard pass reception, 59-yard run. Solomon Well, we're waiting for him to throw. He used to do that in college. He was a quarterback. You trim him in, adds the extra point. 11:42 to go here in the Orange Bowl, and I guess lots still to happen. Right now, the Dolphins 38 and the Buffalo Bills 20.
On NBC.
But seldom 3. Ball is squibbed along, picked up by one of the up men. That looks like Tom Rood again, and he gets across the 35-yard line out to the 37-yard line. Well, Oakland has already clinched the division title. Baltimore's on the verge of doing the same, but the AFC Central crown and conference wildcard berth still up for grabs. Whatever the composition of the Final Four, you can bet your boots NBC will be on hand to provide all the action straight through to the Super Bowl 11 on January the 9th. The divisional playoffs will be held in just 2 weeks, Saturday and Sunday, December 18th and 19th. The AFC Championship game on December the 26th, and we all go to Pasadena. First down, Buffalo. O.J. and Kenny are your setbacks. Rangy to O.J. Simpson. Almost dragged down in the backfield and finally dragged down across the way by Charlie Babb. Before that play, O.J. had run for 174 yards. Solomon had caught 4 passes for 117 yards and run for 59 yards for a total of 176. So he is actually outgaining. And if you want to throw something else in there, how about his 79-yard punt return? He is well over 250 yards total offense, although punt return's not considered offense. Second down.
Exceptionally tough pass to throw. Rangy goes back. You see he's jumped up about 3 or 4 steps, but he does get the ball up high enough so Chandler can get at it. Comes down in the end zone, and Babb has no play on it. 6 points.
Akovenko comes in. We have 8:53 to go here in the final quarter, and there again is Bob Chandler reaching up to catch his 9th touchdown pass of the year. Chandler also holds for Jakovenko. Kick is good. 8:53 to go, and it's an 11-point ball game again. Miami 38 and the Buffalo Bills 27.
It's amazing how these big plays seem to be catching. I think I've seen more today than I've seen all year collectively. Gary Davis gets out into great position with Larry Little and Newman leading the way. Makes a good move to get to the outside. And he's fast, but I don't think he's faster than Tony Green.
Green, the Maryland star, hauls him in. And they spot the ball just inside the 4. Nottingham has come in, the team with Davis. Seifel is out wide to the right. Strauch. This is Davis trying to pick up the touchdown after getting him down there, and got a yard or two down to about the 2-yard line before Cliff Brooks and Tony Green made the stop. It'll be second down. Less than 7 minutes to go now in this ball game. Dolphins trying to put it out of reach if such a thing is possible on an evening like this, because everybody seems to be able to go the distance whenever they get the football. Now Benny Malone comes in, and Davis gets a rest going out and gets a hand. Two rookies, Harris and Davis, and a second-year man, Solomon, have provided a lot today for the Dolphins and their fans, and Nottingham is driven straight back. A fire plug, as they call him, was put down by Marty Smith and John Scorpion.
Let's take a look. Now, Don Nottingham is one of the finer running backs inside the 10-yard line. He finds holes. He's a small target. However, this time, he met his match.
It is third down. The tight end Tillman sets up on the left side, but Seifel, who also plays tight end, is flanked to the right. And Mandich is also in there, so it's virtually a 3 tight end offense. And into the end zone, touchdown, Don Nottingham. Well, you said you wanted to see scoring. You're seeing it this afternoon.
You can see the offensive line just pushes everybody out of the way. They've got the whole right side of their offensive line in the end zone, and that means the defenders have to be in there with them.
Well, the Bills scored 50 points against Kansas City, but no one has scored more than 34 points against them until today. And Miami, with its second-string quarterback, Don Strock, has done a lot of that, and he's got a lot of help. Yepremian adds the extra point, and now with 5:44 to go, the Dolphins 45, the Bills 27.
Don.
And Don will coach the South. I'm in Buffalo. This is not unusual. The last 3 years, and there are 6 games including this, have averaged 58 points combined per ball game. They always put points on the board. Don Strock has gone all the way today and is still in there, handing straight ahead to Stan Winfrey, number 33. We had been told that Winfrey was going to play a lot today, but his thunder has been stolen by other people.
Well,
and he's just now appearing.
I think part of the reason you haven't seen more of Winfrey than you have is that Gary Davis got in and did such an outstanding job, they just had to let him go.
They bring out Solomon, Freddie Solomon, to a standing ovation. I got some good news for you. Scott Bull has hit Paul Hopper for 13 yards, and San Francisco and San Diego 7-7 with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the game. Could be overtime. Second down 5. Ooh, what a hit. Taken by Clayton Heath, rather. Second-year man out of Wake Forest, number 35. Heath would like to do something because it was Heath who a week ago was caught for clipping when Solomon returned to punt 77 yards for a touchdown. They had to call it back. Rudd, who has returned a couple of kickoffs, 54, is now playing the strong side linebacker. His teammate at Nebraska, Bob Nelson, number 56, is now in the middle. We're coming down to the 2-minute warning, and I think the Dolphins are just standing around letting that 2-minute warning happen, allowing the time to run off the clock, which it does. Fred Silva steps in and says that is the 2-minute warning, so we will say that. 2 minutes left to play here in the Orange Bowl in Miami. It's been a balmy and high-scoring night.
Bringing cheese from Cantal. Dress fabrics from Bayeux. Motor cars from Sochaux. Wine from Bordeaux. Lobster from Saint Paul de Leon. Wheat from the Beauce. The French National Railroad. 300,000 freight cars. To get each to the right place at the right time, a Sperry Univac computer system, the largest railroad computer in Europe. Now, the French National Railroad gets 50% more use out of each freight car than ever before. And that's nice for everybody. Sperry Rand Corporation, making machines do more so man can do more.
Third down and 5.5 to go. The ball at the 21-yard line. Don Strock, to repeat ourselves, has gone all the way. Winfrey carries the football, and Winfrey gets out for a first down across the 30-yard line. O.J. Simpson, with his 203 yards today, now has 1,332. Walter Payton had 114 in the first half of the game with Seattle today. And Payton did not start the second half, but is back in there. But at this moment, O.J. leads the National Football League in rushing and may well do that at the end of the game. But Payton may have a great second half. First down from the 31. Clock continues to run, and they're going to keep it on the ground. Winfrey up the middle, now Winfrey outside, and Winfrey is down at the 39-yard line. And Cliff Brooks ran him out of bounds across the way. He did not get out of bounds. The clock continues to run with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go. Well, Miami's going to be 6-7-0 with the only chance to avert Don Shula's first losing season as a head coach, and that would be to beat Minnesota next Saturday afternoon. Buffalo will be 2-11. Jim Ringo will be 0-8 as a head coach, and the Bills will have lost their last 9 games in a row. Second down on the yard. .38 seconds to go. Winfrey with the football. Wow, he is hit around the head and goes down at the 40-yard line. 32 seconds left. Bob Nelson put the hit on him, and let's see whether or not that was the last play of the game. It has been a day when there have been some outstanding plays, but if you have to name an outstanding man, I guess you would say Freddie Sullivan, who scored catching the ball on a great catch where he wrestled away from two people. He scored running the ball 59 yards, and he scored 79 yards. Jim Simpson with John Brody. And the grandstand will be coming up for most of you as this time is going to run out here with the final score. Miami Dolphins 45 and the Buffalo Bills 27. And we say goodbye from the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida.
Julie and Jackie, how sweet it is.
Around the league, right?
All right, Lee. The Giants give a winner for the third time in 13 weeks. They're playing better ball. They beat the Detroit Lions today 24-10. A bit of a surprise there. Craig Morton completed 12 of 24 for 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. Grandstand with the Sperry NFL Report is brought to you by Sperry Rand Corporation. The big idea is making machines do more so man can do more.
Over Philadelphia, big day for Roger Staubach.
Washington Redskins are still alive for a playoff berth. They must win next week. They beat the Jets today 37-16.
New England Patriots will be at least the wild card in the AFC with their victory today, 27-6 over New Orleans. Of course, they still have a shot at winning their division.
What can you say about this one? Pittsburgh 42, Tampa Bay nothing. 8 in a row for the Steelers, 4th shutout of the year.
I lived in Tampa Bay, I could say ouch. 13-10, Cleveland stayed barely alive, beating Houston today in a very frosty day out in Cleveland.
Playoff-bound Vikings played in the snow in Minnesota, but beat the Green Bay Packers 20-9.
Chicago Bears were behind 7-6 to the Seattle Seahawks at the half, but they came on strong. 3 touchdown passes at least for Bob Avellini. 34-7 with a couple of minutes left to play.
Time has just run out in San Diego with the score tied at 7-7. Those two teams are heading into overtime.
And the Buffalo-Miami game, 45-27. I would like to run down the scoring, but that would take until about 9:30 or 10 o'clock tonight.
And Denver and Kansas City have a few moments to play, but Denver is out in front of the game 17-16. Rookie Craig Penrose got the start through 2 touchdown passes.
I'd like to say Miami, if they can win next year, will even their season's record 6-6, so Don Shula won't have his first losing year ever as a head football coach.
Next week.
Right.
Next year. What about Saturday?
Saturday, we have Pittsburgh at Houston, and that kicks off at 4 o'clock New York time, so we'll be here a half hour before that at 3:30 with Grandstand. Sunday?
Sunday, we will be here at 12:30 Eastern time, and at 1 o'clock, we will start off with the Bengals playing the Jets in New York. Then we'll come back with New England playing at Tampa Bay.
And we have a couple of 2 o'clock starts for you, too. Buffalo will be in Baltimore. Cleveland goes to Kansas City. Cleveland, as I said, still barely alive, and Denver will be playing Chicago.
And then San Diego will be at Oakland. That game starts at 4 o'clock.
That's it for Brian Gumbel and myself, Lee Leonard. Thanks for being with us on Grandstand. We'll see you next Saturday.